I recently actually helped host an event, and that was super exciting. I haven't done that in a very long time. I used to do, when I was interning, events that I helped with, and I was basically just a little intern running around in the background, helping with stage setup or whatever needed to get done for like major conferences and stuff. But obviously, I haven't done that in a very long time. And now that I'm in college again, I decided to become president of a club at the school that involves investing. We had a speaker come all the way from Denmark, an economist, and hey, it actually went pretty good. It was very intimate, like it was very meant to be interactive, and it was a discussion. It wasn't a lecture. It was ask questions, get feedback, and it was good. I wasn't expecting it to be quite so good. Like, I thought it was just going to be this small little thing, and I have gotten only 100% positive feedback from it. That was pretty amazing to me because it was just little. Like, so I haven't done event hosting in a long time, and it worked out really well, and I was so excited. But the economist, it was hilarious, some of the situations that came up. Like, for instance, at the very beginning, I went to give a speech and I totally forgot to pick up the mic for like the first 2.5 minutes. And so that was funny. From now on, that's gonna stick with me. Every time I get on a stage, I'm gonna be like, where's the mic? But there was a teacher who listened to it, and she was so impressed with the information and stuff. She flat out told me she was going to redesign the curriculum to one of the classes she teaches to include information from our event that we hosted. And I was like, holy crap, like, students who come to college from now on will be getting taught curriculum from something that was impactful that I was a part of. And so that was a really super good feeling. The feedback has just been phenomenal, and it makes me think about stuff I want to do. I eventually want to start getting to the point where I'm not just hosting events or being part of running around setting up stages and maybe doing a speech or an emceeing or something, but I want to get to the point where I'm the person on the stage and I'm the person people are asking questions of. I would really like to get to that point because I want policy to change, and to affect change like that, you have to get to where your voice is heard. I look at financial systems and the intricacy of them and the sheer volume of complication fascinates me. It definitely feeds the puzzle solving part of my brain, but at the same time, it is so important to make them less complicated, because we're ostracizing way too many people from feeling like they can get involved with finances and that finances are accessible. And that's why I wanted this event to be so interactive, close and like homey feeling, because I wanted people to feel comfortable to ask questions, and I wanted it to be a place where students and faculty and the community could all grow together. I really believe that spread knowledge is a good thing, that it can help people. I want people to get help. And it made me really happy. The very next day after the event, someone came to the club and they were like, my wife and we're getting a little older. We've been saving up a bunch of money, and I want to go ahead and ask for help with investing and looking at our finances and stuff. And me, I've been doing that since I was like 12. So of course I was like, sure, let me help you, And of course, legal disclaimer, not a financial advisor. Just because I work with finances does not mean I am a financial advisor. So all of my advice is purely my advice. It is not legally substantial. And I want to improve things. And while investing is absolutely a risk, and you can risk very big accidentally, if you understand like really basic, simple, not overwhelming things, and you just do the low risk things, it's pretty much a 99% chance that after about 15-20 years you're going to have made a profit. If you just leave it alone and do something really low risk and simple, you'll have made some sort of profit. And it might not be the biggest profit in the world, but that's okay. It's better than the high risk stuff where you totally are on a Russian roulette, whether you're going to make it big or you're going to lose everything. And I personally don't like steering people toward anything remotely close to they could lose everything. I'm much more interested in helping people grow than people to lose money. When I look at helping people who are a little older with their investments, I look at a lot of their stuff, and so many of them have chosen investments that I would never recommend. And it's so painful to have to explain to them. I talked to an older man recently, and he was like, I don't understand. Every single year I lose money. Every single year. I don't understand why I have this investment account. It's pointless. And I'm retired. I should just take all the money out. This is pointless. And I was like, well, it shouldn't be that way. Let's look at what you have. Turns out he had a mutual fund. And I said, why is almost all of your money in this mutual fund over here that loses money every year? And he said, because that's what I was told to do. And I was like, but mutual funds are A, old news, B, not as good as ETFs. Mutual funds and ETFs both invest in multiple companies. And mutual funds can be good. Allow me to be very clear. Mutual funds can be awesome. But unfortunately, there is a hiccup with mutual funds that if stuff seems to be not going that great, people can bail on the mutual fund. And every time they pull out, there's less money in the mutual fund to continue the growth of the mutual fund. And so the one that he was in specific, not a very good mutual fund. So first of all, he was in a mutual fund instead of something like an index fund, which would have been much safer, especially at his age and with how low risk you want to be at that age. Like, he was already well past retirement. And so I agreed with him. No, you shouldn't have your money in there, but don't take all your money out of your portfolio. Just invest in something else. Sell this and get something else. And he's like, won't I have capital gains? And I was like, dude, capital gains taxes are so remarkably lower than income taxes. You're thinking of taxes incorrectly if you think your taxes on the capital gains is going to be that bad. Also, if you are selling this and buying something else within this particular retirement account, that's not going to create a ton of capital gains for you. There's only going to be capital gains on the difference, because you will have already owned this mutual fund for such a long time that if you sell it and buy something else instead and then hold on to that for a while, you'll be fine with the way that it actually works. Taxing works differently on capital gains depending on the situation. And so I did. I told him, yeah, I would get rid of this mutual fund. Get something else instead. You've had this mutual fund for years and your capital gains go down from that. And then on top of that, it's in this retirement account. You can switch over, buy something much safer. This index fund over here, way safer. Go for that. And your growth won't be that big, but at least you won't be going in the red every year. And so then that was good enough advice. Later today, I have an appointment with the couple who came and asked for help. And they are not to retirement yet, but they're getting a little closer to that. And so I would give them the same sort of advice. When you're younger and you're, say, in your 20s and your 30s, taking some risky chances can be okay as long as you're balancing it with some low-risk stuff as well. But the older you get, the more you are going to need that money to take care of yourself for the rest of your life. You're not going to have that same steady income coming in from your job whatever job it was, and so you want your investments to be way lower risk. I, again, say that without being a financial advisor, but that doesn't mean I can't help anyone. People take for granted how much of an impact small things can do. People want to make so much money when if they just had this steady, small, incremental progress, it would eventually grow and balloon into something significant. It's like my event. It was a little bitty event. It was not a big giant event, but it still had enough impact that someone changed their whole curriculum. If you do something small, it doesn't automatically mean insignificant.